Here's a feature that if you're going to be printing a lot, you're going to want to take a look at because it's a way to remove noise from certain parts of the photo. And I want to show you an example where you could use it because it comes in pretty handy. It's actually a new feature with Photoshop CS6 inside of Camera Raw. All right, so let's zoom into the to a part of the photo over here, and we can take a look at what's going on. So here we got photo ISO 800. You can see we got some noise problems here. Okay, and if you really zoom in, if I get in close, you'll see we got all that grainy stuff. We've also got kind of little red, green, and blue dots, which is that color noise. All right. So what we can do here is generally, I don't really need to worry about it in places like sky. And like I said, this is really a print feature because this is the only time you would ever see this noise is when you were printing. You really wouldn't see it if you were just saving an image for the web. So you're not going to see a night and day difference when you look at the before and after for this one, but it will save you if you do have to print the photo. But you can see all that little grainy stuff. Now, generally in skies and continuous tone areas, we don't have to worry about it too much. But let's say, up here in front of the trees and everything in the foreground, I kind of want to bring up the shadows. And that's typically where noise lives. If you look, here's the shadow slider at 0. Everything's silhouetted. And here's the shadow slider all cranked up. We bring a little bit of detail back in there. I don't want it to look like daytime because it's obviously not, but I do want to bring a little bit of detail back. The problem is noise hides in the shadows, and that's why we start to see it in here. All right, so what we can do is go grab our adjustment brush tool. I'm going to zoom way in, and let's just take a look at what we got here. So you can see all the noisy stuff here. Make my brush a little bit larger, and if you scroll down on your adjustment brush, if you look right over here, in CS6, there's a noise reduction slider. Okay, so now I can come in here and I can start to bring up that noise reduction slider, and now I can start to paint, and you see I'm painting away the noise from only parts of the photo. All right, so now I don't have to go to the noise reduction sliders, which are actually very, very good inside of Camera Raw. But now I don't have to go into the noise reduction sliders, and I don't have to reduce the noise for the whole photo, which is, when we reduce noise, what happens? It tends to blur the photo a little bit. And that's another reason why being able to do it in a brush is really helpful, because sometimes there's parts of the photos where we don't want to blur. And this is a great example. If you look up here, I don't want to blur. In fact, I took, painstakingly great detail and problems to go through to make sure that the stars don't blur. Okay, because you're locked down on a tripod. You don't want to set your exposure too long because you don't want those stars to blur. So I don't want to start to go in and blur this photo, which is what reducing noise does. Now I can go in here and I can just paint it away with a brush in the problem parts of the photo, and I can leave the other parts of the photo alone. Okay, so there you go. It's brand new inside of Photoshop CS6. It's going to be with your brush adjustment brush tool right up here in the toolbar, and you'll notice that it's got the same exact sliders. If you switch over to the graduated filter, you'll see there's a noise reduction slider over here as well. But let's go back over here really quick and we'll just do before and after. You can see that's before, that's after. Okay, before, after comes in really handy if you need to get rid of noise just in the shadows, just in certain parts of the photo, and especially when you want to make sure you keep the detail of all the other parts of the photo. You'll definitely want to check this one out.